Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome to What's Not in the News, if you like. Just a little fucking news about the Great Reset. Some of you may have heard of the Great Reset, and for some of you, this may be news. And so let me just give you a quick summation of the Great Reset. The Reset is an idea promulgated, promoted, expounded, and explained on the World Economic Forum. Those people who do Davos every year. If you've ever heard of Davos, Davos is a place in Switzerland where all of the world's rulers and their agents go once a year to talk to themselves about what's really going down. And they've got a website. It's called the Forum, World Economic Forum. And allegedly, the website of the World Economic Forum purports to tell you what it is they talk about and what they're interested in. Yeah? And so the Great Reset is an idea which has suddenly appeared out of the coronavirus crisis as a way of saying what a wonderful opportunity now is to completely reshape capitalism and the way the world works, you know? While we're in the midst of this big crisis, which isn't a fucking crisis at all, actually. In fact, malaria will kill 3 times more people this year. Sorry, diarrhea. Diarrhea will kill 3 times more people this year than the coronavirus. It's funny how that wasn't a crisis. A combination of malaria, AIDS, and other things will kill 3 times as many people as coronavirus. So if you think this is the coronavirus is a crisis which befits a giant reshaping of the world's economies and governance, then you're either a fucking idiot or a liar. And I think the World Economic Forum fall into the latter. That is, that they are lying. And there are a number of things that they're lying about or hiding. One of the things they're hiding from you is the fact that the planet's fucked. Now, regular viewers of my output will know I know the planet's fucked. I've been trying to tell you the planet's fucked for a long time. And the people who own and control all of the Earth's important resources, they know the planet's fucked as well. And they're shitting themselves. Yeah. You think they're some sort of superhuman beings who have no concerns, no anxieties, and they have some sort of omnipotent power over the universe, and that climate change is just the fantasy of Al Gore. Yeah, rude health. Well, it's not. Climate change, if you like, is an accident. It's an accident born out of greed and ignorance and stupidity of decades of doing things which people said, scientists and environmentalists said at the time, this is a bad idea. This is going to bite you in the ass, okay? But none of the rulers of the world, the people who own and control everything, really believed that. They didn't really quite believe that. Back in the 90s, when lip service was being paid to the Green Movement and the environment, and the Green Party had a huge upsurge in popularity as people thought, maybe we should look after our one and only planet in the universe. Well, then green issues became the province of tree huggers and conspiracy theorists and, dreadlock growing BAMs on the fringe of society, and it disappeared from mainstream politics. However, it's now back. And the reason it's back, amongst other things, is because it's real. We have reprocessed the atmosphere to the extent that it is now very damaged. Damaged is perhaps a difficult word. It's very changed. It's changed in a way which is good for jellyfish, bad for big mammals. It's good for algae, it's bad for big cereal crops. And since we're big mammals and we live on big cereal crops, we're in big trouble. It's not the only problem. I don't believe they have the tech to leave. They may be planning the tech to leave in the future, but we'll come to that. So, you'll have to take my word for it. The planet is fucked for this essay, for this piece to be coherent to you. So just bear with me. Just come with me on this journey, okay? The planet's fucked. You may or may not believe it, but the few wealthy people who own and control everything do, and they're totally fucking shitting themselves. They're shitting themselves, and you are gonna drown in their nappy. You are. While you mumble about, well, I don't really know if climate change is real or not. They know it's real, and they have plans for you. And they don't include you hanging about. I assure you. And one of the reasons I believe that is because if you go to the World Economic Forum, right, and you look at the Great Reset Agenda. Now, a lot of people will tell you the Great Reset Agenda, right, is some dangerous, totalitarian, fascist, overbearing, communist plot to control everything. I'm good, man, thanks. And that it's got nothing to do with climate change. That's just a lie and an excuse. Blah, 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 blah. Shite. Total fucking bollocks. These people are fucking morons and they deserve to die. Okay? So let's just have a look at the Great Reset Agenda, allegedly. Now, bear in mind, the world powers and the rulers of the earth know full well we're totally fucked. And they know how and why and what the fuckery that has happened, how it's going to play out and how it's going to go down, yeah? So, there's a giant big list, right? They've got a giant big list on their agenda for the Great Reset. Let me just walk you through what's not on it, okay? The Great Reset proposes that they can see that this is an opportunity to completely reshape the world. Capitalism, business, trade, commerce, culture, finance, religion, community, etc. All right. So I'm just going to scroll down their list of what's on their agenda for things to look at and sort out and change and fix, right? Okay. And I'm going to give you a little take on what I think it means, reading between the lines, because I'll tell you right at the start, okay, just so you understand where I'm going with this piece. I'll tell you what's not on the Great Reset Agenda. Not one single heading, nothing here. No articles at all that you might read and go, oh, wait a minute, I didn't know that. Nothing here about famine, drought, depopulation. Nothing here about carbon capture and storage. Nothing here about the end of electricity and consumerism. All of which are entirely necessary to fix the fuckery that we have done with the atmosphere. But funnily enough, there's nothing in it here. You would think they would address such things as famine, 250 million refugees from the climate crisis that's going on the planet. Nothing at all. It's like a fucking, a bizarre collection of euphemisms with hidden meaning, which you'll have to read between the lines to get. So allow me to walk you through what these things really mean. 3D printing, how to make things when we've killed everybody, except a few clever people who will need to make our shit. 5G, how to keep in touch with everybody who's left and make sure they're not trying to have a revolution and overthrow us because they've realized there's so few people left and we killed all their friends and family. Advanced manufacturing, see 3D printing, no more workforce, you're fucked, you're going away, and robots are going to do your job. Advanced materials. Oh, aging. How to keep us alive for very, very, very long periods of time, whilst all the fucking unpleasant people, the great unwashed, and the other people we're trying to get rid of, work themselves to death and die young. Agile governance. Oh, agile governments. How to avoid getting strung up from a lamppost by an angry mob who realizes you're a bunch of lying, murdering cunts. Agile governance. I like that. Air pollution. Air pollution. How quickly can we breathe clean air again by getting rid of all of these dirty fucking 8 billion slaves we created when we thought we were all going to go Elvis Presley and Coca-Cola forever. Arctic. How to get the planet back to a state where the Arctic is frozen and cools our planet so we don't die gasping in the sun. Arts and culture. How to promote mediocre, bland pish that means absolutely nothing so nobody catches on to anything which is really going on. Arts and culture. How to promote asinine, pointless, mediocre, drivel-pap slavers in all bandwidths of all art and culture so nobody knows what the fuck is really happening. Big data. How to keep a tap on everyone, all the time, everywhere, so that if anybody's catching on, we can get rid of them and fuck them up. Biodiversity. Oh, we don't want to die. How to keep enough stuff alive while the planet goes through this convulsion so that we can go on living, see aging and living a very, very long time. Circular economy. How to make things which can keep being used by us and the few people who are left so we don't need to make any new stuff, see the workforce that's going away. COVID-19. How to use pandemics and fake crises to keep people distracted from what's actually the biggest threat on this planet, so they're more afraid of something unreal and fantastic while we try and get our lifeboat together. Cybersecurity. See spying on you all the time so they know what you're thinking and they can fuck you up if you turn out to be dangerous. Digital identity. See spying on you all the time so they can find out what you're up to and fuck you up if you're dangerous. Emerging technologies. See 3D printing and getting robots to make all of our stuff. Environment and natural resource security. Environment and natural resource security. How to maintain a biosphere on this planet that we can live in and not die along with the rest of the peons and muppets who don't know what the fuck is happening. Forests. Now really that should say lack of forests, but because of the euphemistic and rather sort of opaque way the World Economic Forum has of putting the big reset, it just says forests. But I expect that says how to take over national governments, such as Brazil, and stop them destroying the plants that we need to survive on this planet. Fragility, violence and conflict. How to keep that far away from us and our Mediterranean, Caribbean and Far Eastern islands. The future of energy. How to stop using fossil fuels completely and utterly whilst getting rid of most of the 8 billion people who rely on them totally for their food. Nearly 90% of all agriculture, that's your food by the way, all agriculture on planet Earth relies on fossil fuels. Good luck replacing that with a solar panelled tractor. Yum, yum, yum. What are you going to eat? Jellyfish and toe jam? Geopolitics. How to maintain our cozy gentleman's club of quietly controlling everything in the background where nobody knows who we are, what our names are, or where we live, where they think their government, those twats in the media doing the press conferences, honestly, these people are the equivalent of the woman they hired to do the PR for McDonald's. You think Donald Trump runs your country? You think Boris Johnson is running Britain? Really? Global governance. See, fascism, control, quietly, nobody knowing our names or what we're up to. Human enhancement. See, living an incredibly long time while everybody else goes away. Human rights. Promoting the idea that you have the right to say things, freedom of speech, and to believe whatever religion you want, while simultaneously you have no right to anything of real value. I mean like real value, like land, food, water, the stuff that you need for life. Hey, I've got freedom of speech. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, look, I can believe whatever I like. Ah, fantastic. Oh, you're so peachy with your rights and all. Oh, your rights are so awesome. I love your rights. I hope you're enjoying your rights. Fucking muppets. International security. C, controlling all of the resources and all of the governments and all of the people all of the time, so that we can manage a narrative where nobody gets too pissed off about everybody going away. Justice and the law. Justice and the law. C, international fascism, global tyranny by people whose names you don't know. Name me somebody who goes to Davos who isn't a world leader, because they're 90% of the attendees. Name anyone who goes to Davos who isn't a world leader. Anyone? Those are the people who own your bottom. Nuclear security. How to maintain enough intelligent, well-educated people to stop Chernobyl and Fukushima exploding all over the planet and fucking up our chance of survival. The role of religion. How to keep people who are dumb as fuck. How to control the mouthpieces of the great religions to keep everybody calm and believing there is hope and that one day Jesus will come and touch them. Whatever. While they live in the shitty nappies of the feardy poop of the real world's rulers. The role of religion. Sustainable development. How we can stay alive and continue to be here and own and control everything of value and importance, while all those other people who are now unnecessary and just making the planet dirty and unhealthy for us go away. The Great Reset, the ocean, vaccination. How to play upon people's fears to keep them distracted from what ought to be on their mind so that they're thinking about something else all the time. Honestly, they could inject you with fucking water. And while everybody's going, I don't want the vaccine. Oh man, it's horrible what they're doing. This hideous tyranny of the vaccine. Blah, 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 blah. Nobody is dying of coronavirus. 5,000 a day. It's a pittance. Let me know when I have to breed with my sister. And whether or not you have the vaccine or not, I imagine will be voluntary because it's a distraction. They want you thinking about this. They don't want you thinking about what's really going on this planet. They want you thinking about some pish, some irrelevant distraction. Bear in mind, coronavirus is not really that dangerous. Not many people are dying. 900,000 this year. That's less than AIDS and malaria. It's half the amount of fucking diarrhea, which we could cure for $1. It's a distraction. So what's really going on? What's with the big reset? And we're getting close to the end here. The Great Reset. Vaccination values. Virtual and augmented reality, see distraction. And down here at the bottom, water. Water. 99.999% of all the fresh water on Earth is used by humans. And there are 230 new humans arriving every day. Now, that's a list of the euphemisms under the title Agenda for the Great Reset. Okay, you will not find, there will be water, but you won't have any. Unless you're one of the lucky people who's, see the phrase essential worker. There's a phrase to toy with, right? Essential worker. Are you an essential worker? Do you think when the shit's going down, they're going to keep checkout operators and fucking, forklift drivers? Who is an essential worker? Who is necessary to keep the very, very rich, very, very wealthy rulers of Earth alive? Who's essential? The people who make the 3D printers, a few brown people who dig up the minerals. Well, I'm sure, DD, that I know for a fact that Amazon are working very hard to replace you. They really are, because workforce is one of the biggest costs on the balance sheet of any corporation. So while you were thinking about coronavirus, the planet is going on being fucked. And the people who know that are shitting themselves. Within, what is it? By 2030, all right? By 2030, there will be more plastic in the world's oceans than fish by tonnage. Just think about that for a while and imagine how much the Queen doesn't like that. Imagine how much the Queen doesn't like that, and imagine how much the Queen gives a fuck whether you live or die. The Queen not only doesn't give a fuck if you live or die, if she were to express a preference right now, I should say she would wish you would die, along with all of the other real rulers of planet Earth. And so, for those of you who don't think climate change is a thing, I'm sure this doesn't worry you. For those of you who think climate change is a thing, but we're going to build some solar panels and drive hybrid cars, you're a fucking moron. For those of you who, like me, believe that climate change was something we could have done something about 30 years ago, and now it's too late. It's too late, baby. And now you're going to ride that strange torpedo into the future, if you're lucky. If you're lucky. Some of us, may live long enough to see the beginnings of the collapse. Some of us may spend the next 10 or 20 years going, no such thing, bloody climate change. That's a lie by Al Gore and people who want to tax us more. And you may die happily and smugly believing that you were right, but you're not. You're a fucking moron. We have reprocessed the atmosphere. The consequences are significant on a planetary level. The people who own and control you and your lives and everything on this planet, they know that, and they're shitting themselves that they left it too late. And also that the road between here and there, where they could fix it, doesn't involve you. The 8 billion people. Sure, maybe you live in Canada and you're a computer programmer and you'll be fine and your children and your grandchildren will be fine, and you'll program the next generation of 3D printers that print happy toys for the children of the Rothschilds, whatever. Because there are several continents ahead of you in the queue to starve to death. The walls, the razor wire, and the borders are already there to stop the refugees who want to get away from the coming death cull escaping. We're going to watch them die, pat ourselves on the back, and believe and discuss the pish that is planted in front of us on the media. Oh, there'll be all kinds of distractions. There'll be, some other pandemic, and there'll be, difficulties in the transition economy to a new carbon world. And the big reset will become part of your lexicon as, you pat yourself on the back for being in the Northern Hemisphere beyond the carnage. But eventually, the shit's going to really hit the fan for all of us. Failure of agriculture, accelerated greenhouse effect, +6, +8 degrees C. That's what's coming. And if you live long enough, if you're lucky to live long enough to see it, it'll be awesome. I mean, like the greatest science fiction movie ever. So I don't want you to think that I am in any way doom-mongering. Because I don't give a fuck about the affairs of humans or the survival of life on this planet or another planet. The cosmos universe is surely big enough for us to accept that stuff comes, stuff goes, the great story of life plays out as it will and does here and there. So for me, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I assure you I am. I look forward to it in the same way you would look forward to getting home and watching your tropical fish tank and seeing the swaying of the ferns and the mingling of the luminous fish. It's gonna be awesome. The Great Reset, coming to a shitty nappy near you soon, full of euphemisms and lies and vague phrases which don't really mean what they mean. So, enjoy. I hope you have a great day. I know I'm gonna. I'll see you again.